Here's a video on how to take off the splash guard underneath your Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm working on a 5.7 HEMI, and all the tools you need are a ratchet, some extensions, and a 13 and 10 millimeter socket, and then a screwdriver to pop off some of the clips on the bottom. So let's get started. So if we come underneath the Jeep to our splash guard, there's no really method about order of operations here, but the way I start is I get the first 3 bolts here in the front, all 10 millimeter. I've already cracked them loose, but yeah, just unscrew each of those. There's 3 in the front, and that will get down almost the first front half of your splash guard. Another one here. Once you crack it loose with the ratchet, it comes off pretty easily. They're not too tight on there, but if this is the first time you've ever done it yourself, it might be, depending on who did it last. And there we go. First 3 are out. So then the next thing you'll want to do is you'll see these little clips that go in here. There'll be one on here, and one on the other side, but I lost mine on this end. But anyway, to pop these out, you can use a flathead screwdriver, or if you can get your nail underneath there, you can just pop this middle part out and then just pull this other part out, and just like that, the front half is all ready to be removed. And just to give you a better close-up, that's what that clip looks like. Alright, so the next 2 bolts are hidden in your wheel well. Try and get you close up here. You can see that one right there. There's one on each side of the front end of your vehicle, both 10 millimeter, and this is where I like to use the extension. You don't have to use an extension, but it makes it a lot easier getting back there. And yeah, so I'm just gonna work away at this. Alright, so once you've gotten those 2 bolts that are in the wheel wells of the Jeep, you want to come back underneath, go past this opening, and then you should see a bolt here and a bolt over there. Those are 13 millimeter. You'll undo those, and then this whole thing will be ready to come down. So I'll start loosening those 2 bolts, and this should come down. All right, and once those 2 bolts are off, you can just kind of wiggle it down, and it'll come out just like that. And there you go. That is how you remove the liner, the splash guard, under your Jeep Grand Cherokee. And last tip I'll give you, not that you'll probably screw up many of these bolts because there's not many of them. I just lay it out in the orientation of the splash guard. Those 3 bolts in the front, and then my little clip, the 2 wheel well bolts, and lastly the 2 bolts in the back. And that's it. Alright, so once you're ready to put this plastic cover back on, the easiest way that I found, because these are on the outside of this cover, this side goes behind here where the wheel well is, so I found the easiest kind of way is to put it on the ground and then angle it up into that area like that, and then get the other one around right here, get that behind there. I'll probably have to do it off camera, and then kind of set this in place and then get a bolt ready to put back in. Alright, so the easiest way to get this done without getting too frustrated is once you've got the splash guard up here, I would put 1 bolt in just finger tight or hand tightened on the front side, and then 1 on the back side, Doesn't matter which ones you do, just put one in each side so this is supported. And then what I would do next is go around and do the ones that are on the insides of the tire well, because I find those are the most difficult to do if you do the other bolts in the front and the back first. So start with the wheel well ones, and then you can do the rest however which way you want. So I'll start getting those ones in the wheel well first. Alright, so first wheel well bolt. Easy, just hands tighten. And sometimes you might need to push that splash guard up and down to align the holes. But I would get one side end finger tight, or hand tightened. And then once you've gotten one end hand tightened, I do the other side and then tighten both down, just so they both go in pretty easily. So I'll go to the other side. The other side in, hand tightened. You can tighten up this side. There we go. And now we can start doing the bolts underneath. So I thought I'd just show you this pop-in clip just so you understand how to get it out and get it back in. So there's two parts. This inner part first comes out, slides out of the middle, and then this other second piece can just come right out. But to put it back in, it's just the reverse order. You pop this back in. So we'll do that. So if we look on the bottom side here, find the two holes. We just push that in, and then get the other piece, and then push it through the middle, and that expands this outer clip to retain and hold on to the other thing. So now I'll just snug down the remaining bolts that I just started to thread through. And again, we have 10 millimeters in the front. Well, these are 10 millimeters, and the back two are 13. So that's it. That's all it takes to take off this guard underneath your Jeep. Makes it nice for looking underneath there for leaks, working on stuff, as well as changing the oil. So hope that helps. If you have questions, leave them down below. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share with friends. And I hope to see you in the next video.